number one, they're looking at hopefully strengthening exports throughout the rest of the year. A weaker RMB is going to make Chinese goods more competitive around the world. The problem they've had previously is that the currency is essentially sort of pegged to the US dollar. So as the dollar has strengthened against other currencies in emerging markets, it's put a lot of pressure on Chinese manufacturers. So I think that's reason number one. Reason number two is the Chinese are really looking at how they can make the RMB more of an international currency. And part of that is allowing it to float a little bit more and adjust more dynamically to what other currencies around the world are doing. So in a sense, what they're doing is they're sort of decoupling it a little bit from the US dollar so that it can play more of that role going forward. I think what you'll see, is they'll look at the economic data going forward. They'll look at retail sales. They'll look at investment, and they'll say, look, the economy is still maybe not growing quickly enough. Probably rather than devaluing the currency too much further, what we'll probably see is maybe lowering reserve ratios for banks, doing things like that instead to sort of boost economic growth going forward.
This signals the central bank's willingness to let the renminbi to fall further. And the currency trader took this as a cue to sell short the renminbi. So renminbi faced immense selling pressure today. It went to a low level of something like 6.6 versus the US dollar. So compared with yesterday, it's like a 9% devaluation. So the market did what the central bank wished to do within 2 days. Of course, from what we see in the stock market, mainland developers will be hurt the most because the assets are in renminbi. And then some of the borrowings are in US dollars. That means a devaluation of the assets and then an revaluation of their borrowing. So they suffer at both ends. And also the financial stocks, the banks and insurers also suffer because Chinese banks and insurers, most of the assets are in renminbi and they just lost 3% of their value.